Majority of the presentation, I apologise, it is going to focus on the towable aspect, so the trailers, because that is the part that is changing the most. There is definitely changes for the SSM manufacturers and for the Caravan and motorhome manufacturers and for the suppliers as well. But the majority of this presentation is focused on the towable recreational vehicle manufacturers and importers. So what do the approvals cover? The light trailer approvals that you'll be applying for will be obtained through VSS and will cover all the Australian desirable aspects of the trailer. So you're going to ask what are all the ADRs that relate to light trailers. The government actually has a T category for a trailer relevant ADR applicability table. It was last updated in August 18. So it is relevant. I just checked with the department, they say yes, it is still relevant. So I suggest as a starting point, it's a great idea to have a look at this applicability table. I've got the link there. And it will then show you what's the ADRs that are applicable to light trailers. Some may not apply to you, some may apply to you, but it's definitely a good starting point. How many approvals will I need? Now this is probably one of the most important slides on here. The light trailer approvals for everyone in the room will be based on vehicle category codes as defined in the ADRs. So you'll be getting TA, TV, TC or TD approvals based on the GTM rating, not the ATM rating, GTM rating of the trailers you manufacture. So I would suggest the majority of people in the room will be getting TV approvals and will be getting TC approvals depending if they build a larger product that has a 4.5 ton coupling or high tensile chains. If you're doing something like that with heavier ATMs and GTMs, you'll be going for a TC approval as well. For those smaller camper trailer guys, I'm not sure if there's any in the room today, but you may need to get TA approval, and I very much doubt anyone in the room will be getting a TD approval. So realistically, the majority of people will be getting 1, potentially 2 approvals. But what's behind getting those approvals is what we'll cover off in these next slides. So in order to be eligible to apply for an approval, manufacturers and importers must be able to manufacture or supply trailers which fully comply with the relevant ADRs. The second point is important. Have the ability to supply the trailers that comply consistently each and every time. So that's around conformity of production. We'll go into a little bit of detail on that in just a moment. And thirdly, have the ability to hold or obtain all the relevant documentation and evidence relevant to the approval, and have control or influence over the manufacturing facility of the trailers, and I'll go into that in a moment as well. So the first aspect is demonstrating ADR compliance. Everyone understands what the ADRs are, we understand how to comply to them, but when you have these approvals, you're basically ensuring that all trailers that you're supplying to market will fully comply with the Australian design rules. You'll need to then have the relevant documentation and evidence to support the ADR compliance aspects of the trailers that you're supplying or importing or manufacturing. The evidence of the ADR compliance, as Daniel mentioned before, will need to, moving forward, come from an approved test facility. Now these approved test facilities won't come online until post-September, considering they can only apply for those approvals from the 10th of September. So moving forward, an example of this is ADR 62 compliance with the drawbar and safety chain attachment points, which if you use a third-party provider, a chassis, you'll be getting that certification from those businesses. For those of you who manufacture your own trailers, I'd suggest you use a consulting engineer to get that documentation. That evidence moving forward will need to come from an approved test facility, which they'll need to apply for. So what I've been suggesting when people come and ask me who can I use because they don't exist yet, my answer is go and ask the person you're currently using, or when you're going asking those questions, ask if they're going to become an approved test facility, if they have the ability to become an approved test facility, and what ADRs will they be putting in their approval to then test against. So obtaining the approvals and demonstrating conformity of production. So this was Daniel's example before with the tail lights. And I'll read this word for word. This is from VSS themselves. It's typical for the design to evolve throughout the life of the trailer model, and the approval holders should have a quality assurance system to demonstrate that they have effective control and conformity of production. And as Daniel said again, the approval holders are then obviously subject to an audit by vehicle safety standards to confirm all trailers comply with the ADRs and align with those approvals. So that's one of the key aspects as well. It's all well and good being able to supply and manufacture products that a trailer that rolls off the line that fully complies with the ADRs. You also need to have that documentation in the back end that exactly matches what you're building. And we all know our products change and they're very, very varied. You know, lengths and widths and lighting and all those kind of things, they all change on model to model. So you'll need to have all of that documented to prove that you know how to make that product over and over again in the same fashion. Record keeping and supporting information. So you'll need to have access to all versions of the supporting information while the approval is in force and for 7 years after the approval ceases to be in force. So access means whether you're a manufacturer, it's going to be your own documentation and supporting information. As an importer or a supplier, you need to be able to demonstrate you have direct access to the supporting information. The supporting information, as I said, must be kept up to date at all times against current products in manufacturing. And the supporting information must be amended whenever there's a change to the design. So the supporting information is the documentation which outlines the approved designs, the componentry and the manufacturing process. And this may be requested by VSS to confirm if particular vehicles or trailers were of the approved design and manufactured in accordance with the approval process, or the approved process. So, control over the manufacturing facility. This will differ slightly depending or not if you are a manufacturer or an importer. Obviously, if you're a manufacturer, you have control over your manufacturing facility because you manufacture in it. So you need to be able to demonstrate that the applicant has control over all stages of the design, componentry and manufacturing of the vehicle type or trailer. And you need to be able to demonstrate that you are the designer and manufacturer of the vehicles and are able to influence and change the design and componentry or manufacturing process. For importers, the applicant has access to information about the design, componentry and manufacturing of the vehicle type, including information about any changes to the design, componentry and manufacturing process. And the applicant is able to assess the impact of these changes and where necessary is able to confirm that the revised design or process will still comply with the ADRs.